Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And it's time for our these are so fresh. I rolled out of bed, rolled down the hallway, and rolled into my room just to drop these star ratings. I'm barely up. I don't even know if I'm sleeping or dreaming, man.
Wow, did you literally roll?
Yeah, that's how I work around this house. I just roll everywhere. Yeah.
Too fatigued to actually get up and walk.
I don't want to use my legs anymore. I only use my legs when we ball, Larson, anyways.
Right, there we go. Otherwise, you roll throughout the house. That's got to be a sight to behold.
A little bit weird, not going to lie to you. Nothing weird about these star ratings. They're hot, fresh, less than a day after the actual show went down, unlike those other guys. I don't even know, dude, given that it's a holiday weekend coming up, I don't even know if we can expect these until middle of July from Meltzer and crew. But Steve and Larson are here. It's still June, and we're going to give you our star ratings.
We are. Start off with the first match on card, which was Randall Keith Orton versus Cody Rhodes, King of the Ring final. Steve, what'd you give this one? Did you write your star ratings down? You can do these on the fly.
No, I wrote them down.
Did you write them down in the middle of rolling down your hallway?
Yeah, I was like that. 3.5 stars. I thought the match was very entertaining. It felt like a pay-per-view match. There was nothing special about it. There was no additional intrigue. Cody kicked out of 2 RKOs. He's the guy. And then afterwards, he delivered that great promo. This was not no 4-star affair, to be certain, but I gave it 3.5. Thought it was a really good match.
It was fine. I gave it 3.25. It's kind of ridiculous, Cody kicking out 2 RKOs.
Ah, man, he's the guy, though. He's the guy. The guy can do that.
It's lull Cody wins territory.
I mean, aren't we sure? Are we sure? I think one of those might have been a diamond cutter.
You know, I think perhaps the most devastating move of the whole match was when Randy got pushed into the exposed turnbuckle armpit first.
Yeah.
You know, after Cody spent 20 minutes working Orton's back, really what made Randy beatable was exposed turnbuckle to the armpit.
Well, you know, here's the thing. You know that there's that doctor on YouTube. Whenever there is like a sports injury, a high-profile sports injury, he'll go back and he'll look at it. He did a video on this right after. Sure enough, lat nerve was affected. That really turned the tide of the match here. So, it just goes to show you got to be careful with the lat nerve.
Apparently. See, I'm learning something new every day. That lat nerve.
Yeah, that's the whole
sensitive
point.
Area. Let's move on to the street fight. Rhea Ripley defeating Raquel Rodriguez. I thought this match was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was quite as good as their, I can't remember if it was the last woman standing or a street fight they had in NXT years back. That match was awesome.
No, that was better, yeah.
Because I went all over the place. Went backstage, all through the Performance Center.
Yeah,
this stuck to the ringside area. And while there wasn't a ton of spots involving like tables, I mean there were some, but it wasn't overdone. The spots they did were relatively creative. I gave this 3.5 stars. I thought it was a fun match.
I gave this one 3.5 as well, same as the Cody one. There is the whole thing with Rhea Ripley, the Roxanne Perez thing. I think kind of kicked it down a little bit because she was dispatched of so easily in a match where you could basically, it's a street fight. You could take advantage of these and have a 2-on-1 situation, and Rhea Ripley really had no problem ripping through both these opponents. And so, yeah, I gave it 3.5. I didn't give it any higher than 3.5. I thought it was a perfectly well executed, very entertaining match.
Yeah.
But yeah, the overpowered Rhea Ripley stuff. I love Rhea, and I think that there's room for somebody who's so overpowered, but I feel like you do need to, the drama in somebody having to fight off both people, I feel needs to be, you need to add some amount of adversity, not just like, oh, hey, it's a henchman. Let me take care of them really quick. Okay, let me go back to the final.
Not only that, but like, hey, let me take care of the henchman in the middle of the match, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know, Roxanne's out there selling that garbage can spot for the second half of the match. We don't see her again. It's like, all right, if it looks like she's taken out early in the match, only to come back and try to help Raquel again, drama. Mm-hmm. It's like Roxanne's run-in was pretty much devoid of drama because it happened so early and she never got involved again.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross. Steve, what'd you give this one?
I mean, the match was fine. It didn't really, it's I gave it 2 3/4 stars, man. I think it's great that Cross got on a premium live event. Sami Zayn can generally elevate his opponents. I think in this situation, they did what they could. I don't know why I'm hemming and hawing about this. I gave it 2 3/4.
Yeah, I'm not too far off. I gave it 2.5. There really wasn't anything for them to really sink their teeth into in terms of the construction of the match.
Yeah,
it was just kind of regular match, and then Cross yelling at Sammy to admit he's a liar, haluva kick, match over.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of drama. There wasn't a whole lot of opportunities to advance the story. And it was just kind of the safe, predictable outcome. 2.5 stars.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the U.S. title match, which saw Solo Sikoa with the help of JC Mateo, the returning Tongaloa, and the debuting Hikuleu beat Jacob Fatu to win the U.S. title. Again, a good match. But I didn't necessarily feel like it at any point elevated beyond good match. Wildly overbooked finish. There was that extended headlock sequence in the middle, which I guess afforded Solo the opportunity to talk a bunch of crap to Jacob. But it kind of really dragged down the pace of the match. I gave it 3.25. I thought it was good, but
yeah, I'm close to you. I gave it 3. I thought it was good. It was fine. It was there. It happened. And I like Solo getting his title there. I liked the debut of Tala Tonga. Apparently, Tala is really his first name. It's not just that he's tall and they decided to make this thing a thing, but Taula. Actually, I haven't even looked that up. Just one of the friendos said that.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if that's true or not. Let me double check it.
Here, you continue on with why you gave it 3 stars. I'll check.
Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. Let's see. Yeah, his actual first name is Tala. His last name is Kola Matangi. That's cool. Learn something new every day, Larson.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Queen of the Ring finals. We saw Jade Cargill defeat Asuka to win the tournament. Steve, what'd you give this one?
Man, I really like Jade. It's an uphill battle trying to win the crowd over, number one, in Saudi Arabia, but also against Asuka. And I kind of wonder, I understand the idea. Asuka's a formidable opponent. Asuka's a veteran. Asuka's also coming off a really long absence, and people love Asuka. And so, having Jade battle all that, probably, I don't know if that was the smart move here. The match was what it was. It was fine. I gave it 2.25. I thought the match was just sort of there. They only gave it 8.5 minutes. And what we got there wasn't the most dynamic thing in the world. I feel like when they have Jade stick to her strengths and the other person in the ring can help enhance that, I feel like that's where she's at her best. And I don't really feel like they accomplished that in this match.
Nope.
So I gave it 2.25.
Copy and paste everything you said, including the score, 2.25. Yeah, I got nothing really to add.
It's one of those things, dude, where it's difficult to give some good faith criticism because, and it's like, you and I are increasingly kind of on an island here, given that we've sort of divorced ourselves a bit from social media anyways. I think I'm a little bit more on just to try to get the conversation, and then I relay that to you. But so much of the criticism of Jade out there is just so rooted in I just don't want to like Jade. And so we're going to pick apart everything that we possibly can and put her under a microscope, the likes of which nobody else gets the benefit of. And so, but, when you watch the thing, you got to call out what you see. So, yeah, 2.25 stars.
And finally, the main event, which saw John Felix Anthony Cena defeat CM Punk. Wildly overbooked finish. You thought the U.S. title match was overbooked. You ain't seen nothing until you watch this match. If you take the match itself before all the overbooking, you get a pretty, at least in my estimation, match happened territory. So 2.25, 2.5. I don't think there's anything special going on there. The overbooked, obviously it's subjective. I'm guessing in your estimation, you thought it was a welcome reprieve from what we were getting. Considerably more entertaining than the match that was going on, and therefore maybe elevated the match. To which degree, I don't know. For me, it didn't elevate it a bunch because I thought the overbooking was on the verge of ridiculous. And so I only gave it 2 3/4.
I went 3 stars. Yeah, I just thought I agree. I agree with you. On a lot of that, I thought that the actual match itself that we got before then, I mean, look, you can coast a little bit on just the inherent history of these two individuals. And I think that's valid. I think they built up that equity to get there.
Absolutely.
With their past. But like, and it's not like this was, Hogan Warrior at Halloween Havoc levels.
No.
They were doing what they could do out there.
It wasn't an actively bad match. It just wasn't a terribly entertaining one.
You know what's wild is that like I got a comment. I gave it 3 stars. I got a comment last night on Wrestle Juice where somebody said, I don't know what people expect. You get 2 guys who are pushing 50. They can't rewind the clock 15 years. And my mind immediately went to, well, look at like Undertaker and HBK and what they did. They were 44 at that match at WrestleMania 2009. Those guys were younger than Cena and CM Punk. But if you fast forward to End of an Era, which is one of our favorite matches, they were in that same range now of Cena and Punk. And it was a matter of storytelling, just really, really good storytelling. They didn't have to, or they didn't rely on athleticism because they couldn't at that point.
Well, I mean, even if you go back just to Cena's match against Randy Orton at Backlash.
Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah,
that was a really entertaining match. Mm-hmm. And it's like the one match that Cena's return that has really been, oh, wow, this is actually pretty darn entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all the other ones,
Yeah. And this sort of was falling in the and then you have the overbooking stuff. And is it waving a shiny toy in front of you? Sure, absolutely. But, that's kind of what wrestling is. So I gave it 3 stars. I thought in the end, if I look back at my entertainment value, by the time it was all said and done, it was in the 3-star territory, So, there you go.
There you go.
Anyways, we want to know what your star ratings are. Drop them in the comments below. You know, the fresher your star ratings are, the better they are.
The better, yeah.
Yeah, the more we'll pay attention to them, I guess. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Anyways, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna go resume enjoying my Sunday. I'm gonna have breakfast at my mom's house, Larson.
All right, you gonna roll back to your bed, take a nap before you go there?
But it's always possible. Maybe I'll wait till 3 to do that.
Oh, there you go.